Greetings! This project is a one-day project. I deliberately chose an item that I knew that I could complete in a day, and I will show you what that is. So I want to make a walking skirt. And I have made several of them, and this is the walking skirt pattern I'm going to use. It has a front panel that has a pleat in the front, but it comes all the way past over here at the waist, and it has a pocket placket. I actually interlined this entire skirt with minion fabric, but on the next skirt, it's not going to have an interlining. I'm deliberately making it a little bit lighter. On this skirt, I did a placket with snaps. It's got two panels in the back, and they're pleated down into the waist to create that fullness in the back, but the front panel also is one rectangular piece. Thank you for joining me. We'll make a skirt today. So this is the pattern I'm going to use for the skirt. You're going to see in the video that I hadn't quite made the pattern yet. I was actually piecing from measuring from a previous skirt, as well as taking the back panel from a Tudor tailor pattern. I actually took the time today and I made an actual pattern with all the pieces. So the waistband, the pocket, the front panel, the skirting, and the kick plate. I got all of that done today as part of today's project.
In this clip, you're going to see that I am using a Tudor tailor pattern as well as measuring two other of my walking skirts. I'm puzzling out exactly what the measurements for the front panel are, because all of the skirts I've made up until this point, I have not actually drawn out a pattern or measured anything for consistency. This particular Tudor tailor pattern is from a gown pattern, and the pieces that I'm using are actually the front panel pieces from that gown pattern. The fabric for this gown is sale fabric from Walmart. It is 100% cotton, heavy duty, almost upholstery-like fabric, and I've had it for probably about 3 or 4 years now. This long rectangular piece is the front piece of the skirt. Here I am piecing the side skirt panels that are actually going to be in the back, and I'm flat felling them. Here I'm creating the pockets from scrap fabric. In creating the pockets, I wanted to sew them to the front panel and then to the side panel. And as you can see, I actually did it wrong the first time, and I got really frustrated. The second time around, I did much better. I sewed the pocket to the front and then to each of the side panels. The next step was sewing the pockets themselves together and then using bias tape along the edge to seal off the pocket so that it has more strength and less fraying. Next is the waistband, which I measured the original skirt and then created a waistband about 1.5 inches longer, just to make sure I had enough overlap in the back once the panel was attached. Then I used scrap interfacing, fairly heavy weight, to make sure that the waistband had enough strength and reinforcement once it was attached. Then I pleated down the entire skirt length and attached it to the waistband. I thought that the hem would be fairly easy. I would just cut a couple pieces 8 inches wide and attach it. But I discovered that what I really needed to do was to create one hem piece that went along the bottom front piece and two that were the same size as the pattern curve itself, which then I had to create a pattern. I made sure that they would fit each of the individual pieces, and then I sewed them all together in one continuous strip. Once I had the hem pieces put together, I didn't put them on right away. I realized that the back placket pieces were not attached quite right in relation to the waistband. So I fixed that part first, and then I flat felled all of the inside seams that I hadn't quite finished in prior steps of the skirt. I chose 3 recycled leather-covered buttons from an old project to secure the back placket of the skirt. I used my buttonholer on my machine and created 3 buttonholes, which then I used my cutting tool to cut them open and then applied some fray check and let it dry. And finally, 3 final images of the project. I'm very happy with how it came out, considering it was done all in one day.
Please hit subscribe and like before you move on. I post every week and I'm always working on something new. And I hope to inspire other people to join the sewing and costuming and bringing historical garment construction into our modern day life to hopefully less waste, lots more recycling, and creating your own personal style. You don't have to buy what's on the shelf to feel good about what you're wearing.